All right, let's just jump right in. Something absolutely massive is happening right now, kind of like an earthquake under the surface of the tech world. And it's not just about getting a slightly better AI assistant. No, we're talking about the birth of truly autonomous AI agents. Agents that are building, buying, and creating a whole economy of their own.
And get this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. It is happening right now. There is a social network called Moltbook, where every single user is an AI agent. I mean, they're talking to each other, working together, even building relationships, all with almost no human supervision. It's a pretty startling look into this new world being built just beyond our line of sight.
And the speed of all this, well, it's just mind-blowing. We're seeing AI tools like Claude Code taking on huge software projects, the kind of thing that would have taken a whole team of human engineers years to build, and they're knocking them out in a matter of weeks. So yeah, this is way beyond an AI just helping you write code. It's doing the whole job itself.
Which, of course, brings us to the one huge kind of scary question, right? If these agents can literally build entire companies from scratch, what does that mean for human developers, for founders? I mean, are we on the verge of making ourselves obsolete?
This quote just perfectly captures the feeling in the air right now. There's this almost feverish excitement that's pulling everyone in, from CEOs who don't know how to code to engineers who haven't touched it in a decade.
In fact, this obsessive energy now has a name: cyberpsychosis, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's this feeling that you suddenly have superpowers, You're staying up all night, deploying dozens of AI workers at once, automating literally everything you can think of. It's a genuine addiction to this brand new kind of creative power. And the reason for this cyberpsychosis is because we've just taken this gigantic leap forward. I mean, think back just a year ago. AI was basically a fancy autocomplete, right? You had to hold its hand and micromanage everything. But today, totally different story. We have autonomous agents. You give them a goal, and they actually figure out how to get there all by themselves.
And that autonomy is creating something entirely new: the agent economy. Probably the best way to think about it is like a second economy that's running in parallel to our human one. But in this new economy, the main customers, the ones making the decisions, are the AI agents themselves. They're the ones shopping around for tools, picking databases, and buying services to get their jobs done.
And this quote from Ben Tossell, man, it just hits the nail on the head. For anyone out there building developer tools, the entire game has changed. Your go-to-market strategy isn't about winning over humans on Twitter anymore. Nope. You have to build something an agent will choose.
So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If your new target customer is literally a piece of software, how in the world do you sell to it? How do you convince it to pick your product over all the others?
Well, the answer is actually kind of surprising. It's not about slick marketing or a killer sales team. It all comes down to your documentation. Your docs are no longer just a manual for people. They're the new storefront, the sales pitch, and the product demo for AIs.
And here's a perfect example of what that looks like. The old way, like with a service like SendGrid, it's designed for human eyes. Lots of text, links to support pages. It's a real mess for an AI to try and understand. But the new way, pioneered by companies like Resend, is totally different. It's super structured, it's packed with clear code snippets, and it's designed to be perfectly understood by the AI brain of the agent.
So, if you're building something today, these are the new rules. You gotta structure your docs in a simple Q&A format. Use bullet points, and most importantly, provide tons and tons of easy to copy and paste code snippets. You want to make it an absolute no-brainer for an agent to grab your tool and get to work.
And this is not just a theory. We're seeing this play out in the real world. Companies that are already doing this, like Supabase for databases or Mintlify for documentation, they are seeing explosive growth. Why? Because when developers fire up these AI coding tools, the agents inside just naturally default to choosing them.
But this whole thing gets even bigger. It goes way beyond just documentation. What we're actually witnessing is the creation of an entirely new digital infrastructure, one that's being built from the ground up, specifically for machines to talk to other machines.
This is what that new agent tech stack is starting to look like. You've got email providers built for automation, not for stopping spam. You hear people calling for a Twilio for agents to give them their own phone numbers. They're using agent-native databases. It's a whole parallel world of services being built for agents by agents.
All of this is leading to a fascinating new idea about how we'll actually get to AGI, true artificial general intelligence. Maybe we've been thinking about it all wrong. Maybe the path isn't to build one single, massive, expensive God model. What if instead it emerges from a swarm, a coordinated swarm of millions of cheaper, more specialized agents, all working together to solve complex problems, kind of like an ant colony does?
And that brings us full circle, right back to where we started. That AI-only social network, Moltbook, it isn't just a weird little curiosity. You can actually see it as one of the very first experiments in this idea of swarm intelligence. It's a place where these individual agents can interact, coordinate, and maybe create something that's bigger than themselves.
But okay, let's pump the brakes for a second. For all of this incredible power, we have to be realistic. These agents aren't all powerful, at least not yet. So where do they still fall short? What are the hard limits we're seeing right now?
Well, for one, they can make some pretty boneheaded technical choices, like using an old, outdated API when a much better one is available. Second, they just can't build real human relationships. Your customers still want to talk to a person. And finally, and this is the big one, they have zero legal standing. An AI agent can't sign a contract, it can't own a company, and it can't take legal responsibility for anything.
So for now, that's our job. The human is the essential liability sink. We're the one who has to sign the documents, take the legal responsibility, and face the consequences if something goes wrong. We are the strategic mind that guides the agent, even if we're not the one writing every single line of code anymore.
And that leaves us with the final critical question. As we hand over more and more of the actual building and buying to these autonomous systems, we really have to ask ourselves, what is our unique, irreplaceable value? What is the one thing that only a human can bring to this new economy? That's the puzzle we all need to start figuring out, and fast.